Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. I'm going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't answer your questions here live. So once again, thanks for being here. I'm with the rig and the Bitcoin logo, ready to go. We've had a bit of a pullback. Nobody likes those, but Dan will tell you that they are a healthy part of a market. And then I've got a couple of news stories related to the Bitcoin pullback. How far could it go? One of the things that they mentioned there is that even a 40% pullback from the all-time high of 73,000 would still leave us in a bull market, pardon me. So things aren't all bad, right? It's good for pullbacks, but nobody likes them. I get that. But we've had some interesting developments with Solana over the last few days. It is down a little bit tonight, I believe, but it was up the day before yesterday and yesterday due to a lot of meme coin activity, and so we'll explore that a little bit. That's kind of fun, and I'm going to show you how to make sure that you have added the correct coin when you're trading on a DEX or a decentralized exchange. There are a lot of counterfeit coins that sort of pretend to be other coins, and if you're not careful, you might end up buying one of those, and they're basically worthless. So I'll show you how to avoid that little problem. And so let me thank everyone that's here tonight. Let's go over to the big screen. And as always, is this what we want? Does it always look like this? I think it needs to be. Let me double check this. Oh, I see. Interesting. Yeah, this is what we want. That was weird. Yeah. So anyway, Kenny was here early, as always. Good to have Kenny here. Cartosaur, Hands Hannah 350. Asil, thank you for being here. As always, birds, bees, and trees. That's funny. Dan came in and answered your question there. Will we see BTC and ETH break 100,000 this year? And Dan was like, yeah, Bitcoin pretty likely. ETH, not so fast. That's kind of funny. I think maybe what you meant was, are we going to see Ethereum break its all-time high of 5,000 or around 5,000? I've been kind of wondering about that, if that's in the near future or not. So we'll see. But thanks for asking the question. Simon from Scotland, good to have you here. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights, good to have you. Crypt Work, Goofy Dude, Squid Daddy, P Wizzle, Ham Radio Guy. Is Ham Radio Guy the one that noticed my ham radio back behind my monitor last week or the week before? Probably so. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Claude, thanks for reassuring me about Bonk not appearing in Soulflare last Wednesday. Cheers. Yeah, I am going to play around with some Solana wallets tonight. One thing I wanted to bring up before I forget, I spend a lot of time kind of reading stuff on Reddit, and there are a lot of people on Reddit that are there's a lot of misconceptions that sort of get amplified on Reddit. You know, there's a lot of people that claim to know things just because they've heard it somewhere else. A lot of people are worried about wallets getting hacked if they're not bought. Oh, thank you so much for that, Asil. Thank you so much. I appreciate your generous donation tonight. I like that little icon. But there's a lot of discussion on Reddit of people that are asking whether it's okay to buy a hardware wallet from Best Buy or from Amazon. And there are a lot of concerned people that will post things like, does this look right to you? Is this the correct Amazon page to buy a Ledger or a Trezor? And, you know, they're just worried that they're going to get a faux hardware wallet? Well, there's really there's no such thing. I mean, that is not a common hack as people think. I guess there's people out there that think they're just like all of these fake hardware wallets out there that are going to steal your crypto. It's not like that. And even if there was, even if someone somehow made a fake or altered hardware wallet, it would not pass the integrity check. I think what the problem is that people just don't understand cryptography, and I can understand, I get that, right? But they can't even wrap their head around what cryptography is. Cryptography is an advanced mathematical science that was only made possible in the 1970s due to high-speed computers. So it hasn't been around that long, but that is what Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are based on, is advanced cryptography. And so by the same way that Bitcoin is fully safe and secure due to advanced cryptography, a genuine check on a hardware device uses that exact same technology. A hardware device that has a key inserted from the factory does what's called a cryptographic handshake with the server when you connect it for the first time, and also many times. P. Wizzle, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. So we know this on a ledger device as the genuine check. And so if I were to find a ledger hardware wallet on the street, I wouldn't have any qualms about picking it up, taking it home, and checking it to make sure it was genuine. All I would have to do would be to plug it in and then run Ledger Live and run the genuine check, and I would know, one, that it is genuine, and two, that it has not been tampered with. So there is so much back and forth on Reddit about, oh, don't buy a hardware wallet from this vendor or that vendor. They hacked it. It's going to steal. That's not a thing. It does not. It has never happened. So I don't know. I mean, it just like drives me nuts to hear people talking about that. But another thing that I wanted to point out, we were on the subject of Solana third-party wallets, is that there was some people having trouble with Ledger Live sending Solana and staking Solana. I believe it was a genuine technical issue that occurred a day or two ago with Solana, probably because of so much activity on the Solana network. And so people were freaking out saying, I cannot send my Solana tokens from Ledger Live. Well, Ledger Live technical support came into the Reddit and said, all you have to do is use Solflare or Phantom. And then you can send and receive Solana. It was a Ledger Live issue, and which I knew, that made total sense to me. But there were people on Reddit saying, I'll be damned if I'm going to connect my hardware wallet to a software wallet. And they just didn't understand the whole concept of third-party wallets. When you have a hardware device, you can use it in conjunction with third-party wallets. This is not connecting your hardware to software. This is utilizing software. This is utilizing your device with a piece of software that uses the security of the device. Right? That is what a third-party wallet is. And I'll give you another little nugget of information. When the Ledger device came out, there was no Ledger Live. The Ledger device was around before there was Ledger Live software. All of the software that you used with a Ledger device were third-party wallets because the important part was the hardware. And so over time, Ledger decided that they would add their own software to sort of give users a turnkey solution. But using third-party software to manage your hardware device is not unsafe, So I just wanted to we're going to talk about this a little more. I'm getting off track. I apologize. Let's jump into the news. So yeah, let's jump into that so we can go over our market stuff here real quick. If you've never been in the live stream, check out the description down below. Got some little overview of what we're going to talk about and our discussion topic, which is how to find genuine coins and don't, buy counterfeit coins. So we'll go into that, and this agenda is from last week. Anyway, let's... And affiliate links, if you would like to check out any of these products, I would appreciate you using my affiliate link. And all of the news stories are linked down below in case you want to read the entire news story. All right, so the first one, Bitcoin trader sees prices slumping to 60K as crypto bulls see $650 million in liquidations. What does that mean? Well, liquidations are usually occurring when people are using futures trading tools. So if I'm holding Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin goes down, I am not going to get liquidated, right? I've still got my Bitcoin and I can hang on to it for as long as I want to. It's when people place bets on where the coin is going to be in the future that they become liquidated because they've kind of put up their own money to back that bet. So in regular stock markets and in crypto markets, there are people that are making bets. They're doing futures trading. They're leveraging themselves, that sort of thing. Okay, I'll see if I can get to your question, Austin, but we don't like to push certain coins in the live stream. I'm here for technical support, wallet, troubleshooting, that sort of thing. I'm not really here to shill coins or talk about coins, even though we do cover them in the news. So yeah, I would appreciate that. But I will see if I can answer your question about storing a particular coin in Ledger Live. Anyway, so what happens when there's a bunch of people betting that the price of Bitcoin is going to go up, and they have placed futures trades or options trade or whatever the hell they've done, and then the price goes down, then their bet needs to be collected, and that's a liquidation, right? And it can happen in either direction. There are a lot of people that are betting on Bitcoin going down, and when the price of Bitcoin starts to go up, those people that had short bets their bets are called in and they get liquidated. So it happens in both directions. But as we're seeing now, with prices dropping, we're seeing liquidations of people that had long bets. But don't get confused and think that if you buy Bitcoin and put it in your own wallet, that it's going to somehow get liquidated when the prices go down. The value, the dollar value of your Bitcoin might go down, but no one's taking your Bitcoin away from you. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Crypto market capitalization dropped 7% in its sharpest fall this year as Bitcoin plunged 8% in the last 24 hours to wipe weekly gains and kickstart a market-wide decline. Bitcoin slumped from Thursday's high of 73,000 to as low as 65,800 early Friday. Before slightly recovering. Well, where are we now? I think we're at 66, so we're pretty close to that dip, right? And we might even go lower. We'll see. Ether, Cardano's ADA, BNB chain, BNB chains BNB, and XRP showed similar losses, while volatile meme coins Dogecoin and Shiba Inu fell 13%. Solana's Sol token were the only major token in green, up 1% since Thursday. Well, the Solana token has now gone down a bit, and the Solana meme tokens are also selling off as we speak. So yeah, we've got Solana at 179. It was flirting with 200. I think it was 193 yesterday. So yeah, I think Solana has started to join the rush to the door. Data shows that crypto tracked futures, there we go, futures. That's what I was talking about earlier. Crypto tracked futures suffered over 800 million losses, the second largest figure this year. Longs or bets on higher prices suffered $660 million in liquidations, likely contributing to the sharp downturn. Liquidation occurs when an exchange forcefully closes a trader's leveraged position due to a partial loss or total loss of the trader's initial margin. Complicated stuff. My advice, and I don't give financial advice, but I do give life advice, and my advice is don't do future stuff. That's for pros, right? That's not for people like you and me that don't really know that much about market. A lot of crypto exchanges will try to sell you on futures trading. They'll have all kinds of contests and bonuses and all kinds of things to pull you into futures trading. The reason they do that is because the house always wins, and although you may make some life-changing money betting on futures, you could just as easily suffer some life-changing losses. Probably better just to buy and hold crypto if you're a crypto investor, and don't ever spend any money on cryptos or cryptos futures trading that you can't afford to lose. There, that's my advice. All right, so let's check this other article. How low can BTC price go? Bitcoin analysis points to 45K. Bitcoin would still preserve its bull market even if the current BTC price retracement approaches 40%. Remember, 45K wasn't that long ago. Maybe a month or maybe a month and a half. We had quite a run up from, the mid 40s all the way up to the mid 70s. That's quite a run up, right? So there always needs to be a little breather. People take profits, and you can never really know the exact top. But generally, when there's a pullback, people start taking profits, and it just sort of snowballs. Bitcoin can dip much lower and still preserve its bull market and historical track record. That is according to the latest BTC price analysis, which paints an optimistic picture of how BTC US dollar is performing. That's a trading pair, BTC USD, despite a 10% dip in 24 hours. Bitcoin is still following the classic road to new macro highs. Longtime market participants agree. Despite increased Bitcoin price volatility around the site of its 2021 all-time highs at 69,000, the current bull run remains wholly intact. This would remain the case even if a much deeper correction were to occur from current levels near 68,000. Okay. In comments on March 15th, the trader known as Bags focused on the upcoming block subsidy halving. He drew comparisons to previous halving cycles, all of which saw major price pullbacks. Rage Age Record Switzerland, thank you for that subscription. Didn't really fit on there, did it? That's a long handle. Let's see. He drew comparisons to previous halving cycles, major price pullbacks of 40%, flipping into price discovery later on. So, yes, we're experiencing a pullback, but it's not time to, jump out of any high windows or anything like that, right? It's just part of the markets, right? All right. So let's go on to some good news in the news. Solana. Interesting things happening on the Solana chain. Solana gains 2% during market turndown. Is 200 within reach? Sol's bullish momentum persists. Now this was yesterday, or earlier today, and so now we're down at 179. Solana's native token Sol gained 2% on March 14th, despite not sustaining the 173 $173 level. Remarkably, this movement happened amid a 4% downturn in the wider cryptocurrency market. Currently priced at 164, Sol has seen an impressive 36% increase since March 5th, prompting investors to wonder whether the catalysts for a bull run towards $200 exist. The downturn in the crypto market is partially due to a notice from Hong Kong's Securities and Futures Commission on March 14th. The notice claims that the Bybit exchange is unauthorized to offer lending and derivatives products in the area. As the second largest derivatives exchange, Bybit has a significant 15.1 billion in open interest, as reported by CoinGlass. Now, I hadn't heard that. I had heard the inflation figures were what pulled Bitcoin down. And that's in this next paragraph here. Additionally, the recent United States Labor Department's Product Price Index report, which measures the average changes in prices domestic producers receive for their goods and services, influenced investor sentiment. The PPI increased by 0.6% from January to February, diminishing the likelihood of an interest rate reduction by the U.S. Federal Reserve by March 20th. Now, it's funny that financial news is now being tied to the price of Bitcoin. It wasn't like that back in 2017 and 18. They never would say, oh, Bitcoin, dropped because of PPI numbers, or labor numbers or anything like that. Most of the things that drove the crypto market back in those days were adoption news related. For example, the market might be high and then someone like Warren Buffett would say Bitcoin is rat poison and the market would drop, or Bitcoin would be high and then there would be something related to India has banned Bitcoin or China has banned Bitcoin. They were all like scary stuff about governments cracking down on cryptocurrencies that were sort of driving the market. And then the market, the things that involved some kind of adoption, like Japan has announced that they'll accept cryptocurrency as a real currency. That sort of stuff. Those sorts of news stories used to drive the crypto market, not like financial data from Wall Street, but I guess it does now, right? Okay, so the introduction of reduced gas fees by Ethereum's Denkan upgrade on March 13th have also hindered Sol's momentum. Analysis have noted that transactions on Base and Ethereum Layer 2 decentralized exchange are now significantly cheaper than those of Solana. Kind of weird, because I went on Base trying to find how things, how to trade on it, and I couldn't really figure it out. I found their bridge, but I don't think there's a whole lot of people using Base to trade. Maybe I'm just crazy. A notable development for Sol's SPL tokens was when Coinbase, a leading U.S. exchange, created a web page titled "How to Buy Joe Biden," directing readers to CoinMarketCap for listing. This peculiar mention was highlighted by Joe Weisenthal on March 13th, and the post on X Social has garnered over 621,000 views. Interesting. Recent data from the last 7 days shows a 13% rise in Solana's value, locked TVL, and a 24% surge in DApp volumes. On the other hand, Ethereum, the leading blockchain, saw a slight decline in TVL, or total value locked. That's part of staking, but an 11% rise in DApp volumes. However, in absolute total value locked figures, Solana still trails behind BNB Chain and Arbitrum. Interesting. Which boast 3.5 billion and 2.6 billion in deposits respectively. Interesting. All right, so this little meme coin story here. I don't usually talk politics or anything. Tube GBN, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Subscription. Biden and Trump themed meme coins take center stage on Solana. One of Solana's leading meme coins, Dogwifhat, increased by 48% on Wednesday. Interesting. A token based on U.S. President Joe Biden rose 830% on Wednesday morning on more than $23 million worth of trading volume. Several other meme coins based on celebrities and politicians have been issued on Solana. The emerging narrative comes as Dogwifhat, or WIF, surged by 48%. Meme coin speculators are hopping on a risky new wave of cartoonish tokens based on notable politicians and celebrities this week, with Solana-issued meme coins leading the market following cryptocurrency's volatile trading session on Tuesday. A token with the ticker Biden, based on U.S. President Joe Biden, rose by 830%, with 23 million in I've already said this. A series of similar tokens based on the likes of Elon Musk, Kanye West, and Donald Trump have been issued as developers attempt to latch onto the hype. Newly issued meme coins are high-risk assets as they often fall victim to rug pulls and exit scams. The emerging narrative comes as Dogwifhat, Solana's most prominent meme coin, outperformed usual crowd favorites, Doge and Bonk, with a 48% move to the upside. 48%. The wider crypto market remains in a state of shock after Bitcoin set an all-time high of 69,325 on Tuesday. Well, this story is a little outdated because we hit 73,000. Let's see. Meme coins going legit is the worst thing for meme coins. This is an interesting article if you want to know more about meme coins. The nub of the gist is that as meme coins become more popular, and more people are buying them, and meme coin companies are promoting their meme coins, they're going to start falling afoul of regulators. That's basically what this article is sort of talking about as far as it being bad for the meme coin market. Okay, on Solana, there's Dogwifhat, Silly Cat, Popcat. On Ethereum, Doge remains top dog. There are rosters of coins like MAGA, Trump, Bowden, and Elizabeth Warren. These would-be jokes have gained virality in the past year due to their unique nature, the Franklin Templeton digital asset team wrote in a recent report. In some sense, meme coins are reaching escape velocity. The Avalanche Foundation launched a cultural catalyst program that has started buying up meme coins in a bid to support what it believes to be culturally important Web3 projects, while Franklin Templeton attributes growing use of Ethereum and Solana in part to these tokens' opportunities to make quick profits. And yet, meme coin projects are also seemingly doing everything in their power to self-destruct. While the conventional wisdom about meme coins is that they have no underlying value, more and more meme coin creators are investing time and money into making their projects stand out. It's a risky trade. Talking a little bit about the SHIB ecosystem here, they've added some actual functionality to their blockchain. Right? This is trying to make it more than just a meme coin. Dogwifhat rallied over 600% in the last month, raised over 600,000 in US dollar coin to advertise on the side of Las Vegas's Sphere mega project. So let's see if I can give you a picture of that Dogwifhat. If we search for images here, I think we'll see it. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Yeah, I think that's not really the dome. I think that's just what they're anticipating. I guess there's this dome in Las Vegas that you can display images on, and the Dogwifhat community donated almost $1 million just to get this image posted on this dome, right? And he talks a little bit about that in the article, that's sort of self-promotion, but that particular episode could be more of, that is a group effort. That's really not the people that are running the coin that are doing the promoting. But in many cases, a lot of these meme coins are controlled by a small group of people because they are the largest holders percentage-wise of the coin. So when the people behind the coin start doing promotion, it sort of falls afoul of the Howey test, which is part of the laws in the U.S., according to the SEC, which allows you to decide whether some kind of entity is or isn't a stock. So there are a lot of tests that they can perform, but one of those is it being promoted as a product. So when we start promoting meme coins and then getting into this whole thing, we're raising red flags with the SEC. That's basically what this article is saying about meme coins. A lot of these meme coins are not decentralized. Even though they may ride on a decentralized network, it wouldn't surprise me to learn the contract itself is controlled by a couple of people. The basic definition of a security is when there is a team in control of this thing that is promising to do things that will increase the value of the thing. So if you've got a team saying, "Hey, we're gonna implement this project or that project, or promote our coin in this way," they're appealing to investors and saying, "Hey, we're going to do something to increase the value of this coin." That's one of the Howey tests as a definition of a stock. Okay, so I won't go into the entire article. I want to thank everybody for being here, and I would like to, and I wanted to show you some pictures that I ran across. Let's see. Yeah, this picture's pretty funny. I can't seem to get this large. Anyway, this is obviously an AI-generated image. This is kind of the attitude that people have with meme coins. So once again, thank you everyone for being here. I know that Dan is probably answering your questions right now. I wanted to get back up to Kendu Inu with Deep Ties to SHIB. Would love to get your take on the chart. I don't really do chart analysis or coin analysis. Sorry about that. I'm not qualified. You don't really want to know what I think about coins. As far as trading goes, I have the worst instincts with coins, man. I can just tell you, like, for example, I'll give you a great example. I bought some Dogwifhat coin the other day. Silly me. It has done nothing but gone down since I bought it. So I am not the guy to come and ask for analysis on coins. I would steer you wrong. The only thing I could say about it is that I could give you my analysis and then you could probably just do the exact opposite and probably make a bundle. But I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for asking, Kojak. That is false narrative. Bitcoin doesn't crash. Solana has crashed more times than the fingers on my two hands. Yes, the Bitcoin network has never gone down. That is true. And Solana, being a proof of stake coin and relying on server nodes, has gone down in the past. This was part of why the Solana market price went down in 2022 and 2023. There were some Solana outages that a lot of people lost faith in the coin, and it went down to, I believe, around $33. It has since recovered because survived, right? There's always going to be, not every coin goes down, but as I mentioned, or as Peter has mentioned, Solana has gone down in the past, but it has continued to survive and improve, not without some outages. But you're right, Bitcoin has never gone down. Let's see here. I would like to ask how to store GMX tokens on Ledger Live. Let's check that one out. That was from Art Durbo. Let's find out what this GMX is, first of all. GMX. I think that's it. So if we want to store something in Ledger Live, I mean, one of the first things you can do is go to the Ledger website, and they have a section of their website that covers coins that they support. Let's take a look at this. This looks like it's, I think that's Arbitrum. And Avalanche. So this particular coin is only on those two networks. It's not going to show up in Ledger Live. Ledger Live does support Avalanche base tokens, Avalanche C-chain base tokens, but it does not support any Avalanche tokens, sub tokens of those, which GMX would be one. All right, so here is the contract address. I don't see an add to MetaMask. That's kind of interesting. Let's check it out. I think that's Arbitrum. So let's go to Arbitrum. There it is. Okay. The native token of this network is Ethereum. It is a token used for gas fees. Let's see, I got a little bit of some weird coin in here, but let's import tokens and go to custom token and paste in the contract address of that GMX. And so we can see that it is on the Arbitrum chain. Now let's switch over to the Avalanche chain. And we can go here, and there is a token. Oh, they have an add to MetaMask here. So we can just click on this. It'll pull up MetaMask, and it wants me to add this token. And so now we should be able to see it in our Avalanche-based wallet, right? So as you can see, I have a little Avalanche in this one, but I don't think I have much over on my Ledger device. Yeah, let's go here. Let's look at this one. All right, so let's go ahead and import it here. Why is it not giving me that? Okay, all right. Didn't work there. Huh. I don't know why this is like not giving me. I imported it in the other account. That's interesting. Maybe because it's a Ledger-based account? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Because I was easily able to import it over in the standalone wallet, right? We got it here. Not sure why it's not showing up. But even if we could have imported that onto our Ledger-based account, we still wouldn't be able to see it in Ledger Live. So the only way you're going to see this token, let me go ahead and just connect my Ledger device here real quick so you can get a look. I have to enter my pins. Just give me a sec here. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, it's weird how I can't. All right, so if I went to add account and added Avalanche, oops. Okay. Okay. All right, there's those two. This would be I call it H, and this one I call main. But they're basically my Ethereum address. So like my Ethereum address here ends in 445, and then the other Ethereum account ends in 78BD. And so you'll notice that the alternate chains do the same thing. So for example, Polygon main that I've set up based on the same ledger device has the exact same address, right? There's 445, and then over on Polygon H, it's got the BD78, right? To be or 78BD, right? The same holds for the Avalanche chain when we're basing our accounts on our device, right? So here's that. There's not that much Avalanche in there, but this is that same address, like 78BD. So, but as you can see, they do support some. Well, that's staked Avalanche. I don't think they support other tokens like sub tokens of Avalanche. I could be wrong, but if you have it and you sent it to your Avalanche address and you set up your Avalanche account in Ledger Live, you're still not going to see that token. What was the name of it? GMX, right? The only way you're going to be able to see your GMX token that you've sent to your ledger-based address is using MetaMask. And I'm not sure why I can't seem to add that. I added it here, but when I switch over to my ledger device, which is this one, for some reason, when I get the import token, I get this. This is weird. Let's try that and see if I can search for it. No? I don't know. It's weird. What was it in? The GMX? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's most likely it. It looks like the same icon and everything. So I could put it in. You'll see it's in this account, right? There's the account 0.1766. But if we look over in Ledger Live, we can see the AVAX, but we're not going to see the GMX token. Now, Ledger Live might add support for that token sometime in the future, but there is no way for me to manually add that token in Ledger Live. Ledger Live does not have that functionality. MetaMask does, right? You saw me. MetaMask allows me to import tokens into the interface, right? By using their contract address or searching for them. You can't do that in Ledger Live. Ledger Live either supports it or it doesn't support it. Now, it doesn't mean it's not there. A lot of people freak out. They send a token into Ledger, what they think is their Ledger account, or they send it into their Ledger account, and they don't see it in Ledger Live, and then they freak out. And they're like, hey, where's all my tokens? Right? Just because you don't see them in Ledger Live does not mean that they're not there. Right? We can go to the Solana account here. This Solana account has Solana in it, but there are no Solana tokens showing up. And if we go over to my Solflare wallet, we're looking at the exact same Solana account, right? 4.61 Solana, right? It's the same account, 4.61 Solana, but over in Solflare wallet, you can see a wealth of tokens on the Solana chain that I can manage, right? All those tokens are, in fact, in this wallet, or what Ledger Live calls an account. But Ledger Live does not display them. It doesn't mean that they're not there. I get a lot of people that they use third-party wallets and they're like, oh yeah, great, I've got Pith Network, I've got Bonk, I'm great, I've got all this money. But when I go over to Ledger Live, I don't see them. Where are they? Oh my God, they're not there. Like, no, they're not there because they're not in. The Ledger Live doesn't support them. But that's no reason to panic. It just means that you need third-party wallets to manage these kind of tokens. Right? Same holds for that GMX token, right? At least right now. Let's see. I was having a problem last night with Solflare. After I adjusted the slippage tolerance, my trade started going through. Yeah, when you're on DEXs, sometimes for a low liquidity coin, the default settings may not work. You can adjust your slippage a little bit and maybe get a hold of a token trade, or maybe get a token trade to go through for a low liquidity coin. Pot Boiler, thank you for thanking me. I'm glad to be here for everyone. Did you see that Shitoshi is following Kendo? Wonder what he's following so early in the project. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Just said to check out Kendo on Deck Tools. LOL, didn't want to come off as a bot or spammy. No problem at all. Austin, good to have you here. You're asking good questions, so you're okay in my book. We do for a nice 20 or 30% drop, maybe. It looks like it. June is good. Bought a bunch of 40 cents. Solana's Uniswap should go to 10 plus. Sorry, I answered for Rex. It's okay. I was doing the news. I know there's a lot of questions coming in while I was doing the news. I know Dan's there to help out. Good to have you, Dan. Good to have seen you this week. Dan and I got together with our good friend Randy and some other people in the crypto investor group. Interesting. We had a good time when we talked. Silva, Rex just covered that. Can't send Solana on Ledger. Do you have the same problem? Yeah, I did not have that problem because I wasn't trying to send any Ledger. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to send any Solana out from Ledger Live. At the time, I just heard about it on Reddit. I don't usually send Solana out that much. I'm pretty much in a holding pattern on Solana. If I'm going to use Solana for anything, it's usually in a swap over in my Solflare wallet to buy a Solana-based token. So it's pretty rare that I'm sending my Solana out from my Ledger wallet. But I'm sure there were a lot of people that were using Ledger Live and they wanted to sell their Solana by transferring it back and were pretty perturbed that Ledger Live was having this issue. I don't know if it's been fixed yet. We can give it a try real quick and just see. I'll send a little small test. It's not a big deal for me to send a small test of Solana because the fees are pretty cheap, right? I can send it back and forth to Coinbase and the fees would be pretty negligible, right? So I'm just going to go to normal Coinbase. We don't even have to use advanced Coinbase for this. Let's do send receive. Let's tell Coinbase we want to receive a coin. Let's tell them we want to receive Solana. There we go. And they'll give me the address of my Solana account on Ledger Live. I'm assuming that's a wallet of some form, but we get, there's issues. I don't know that it's formally a regular Solana wallet. It's probably kind of a pool of Solana accounts that have maybe some kind of memo field or tag field so that they can maintain a whole bunch of Solana from a lot of different people, maybe in one or several wallets, but not a wallet for everybody. I think it would be really tedious and time consuming and resource consuming to have a Solana wallet for everybody, but they do generate an address for me, which is a Solana address. So if we go over here, we'll hit send and we'll paste in that address. We're going to get this thing that says account not funded, because as far as my Ledger is concerned, when it sees this address, it checks the Solana blockchain and it sees an empty account. Even though even when there is Solana on my Coinbase account, I get this. This is just kind of a quirk thing. It's not a big deal. There are memo fields that are optional. So I'm assuming Coinbase is using some like group or Solana pool with memos to keep track of everybody's Solana. And it's not like a straight wallet. So that's why we're getting this. But it's not a big deal. We can still send our Solana over there. Let's just go ahead and send 0.5 Solana. Let's hit continue. We're going to need to authorize on our device, right? That is the beauty of a hardware wallet, is that nothing can be sent out unless we've authorized on our device. It's good stuff, right? All right, this was an old one. I need to just get out of this, and I need to get into the Solana app. I'll hit both buttons. Now I can send this over to Coinbase. All right, and there it is. So I need to authorize on my device. It gives me an overview of the transaction. That's where I'm sending it. We can double check that. I recognize that address. It never changes. It's been my Solana address on Coinbase for a long time. But I always verify, right? I don't just willy-nilly keep sending to that address, because Coinbase sometimes updates receiving addresses. Although I have heard that even if you get an address on Coinbase and then they update the address, the old addresses will still work for your account. But I don't like to take any chances. I always verify the address. Oh, maybe we are going to have that issue. Yeah, it is taking it a while to broadcast. So yeah, maybe the issue is still going on in Ledger Live. Now, I remember I was reading about this on Reddit, and someone said, I just sent some Solana to my Ledger device. Does that mean my Solana is gone forever? And I was kind of like, I didn't say anything to that post, but I mean, if it has trouble sending, that doesn't mean that it's like lost forever or non-functioning wallet. It just means that there's some issues sending out from Ledger Live Solana accounts, but that doesn't mean the Solana just has suddenly disappeared. Joseph, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, it looks like we are still having issues sending our Solana out from Ledger Live, and this is kind of a sticky situation because we've already authorized the outgoing transaction on our device, and now that last step is failing, right? Your transaction may have failed. Please wait a moment, then check the transaction history before trying again, which is really strange, right? And we could retry and retry. But yeah, I guess that problem is still around. So let's do the alternate, right? Let's go into our Solflare wallet. Now, when I set up this Solflare wallet, I connected my Ledger device. So if you're in Solflare and you want to add a new account, you can connect your Ledger device, and then the private key will be on the Ledger device, and you can manage your Solana wallet that you created on your Ledger device using Solflare. All right, same exact account. So if we look at the account, we're looking at the exact same account that we have over here in Ledger Live. So the public information is being managed by a third-party piece of software. We could think of Ledger Live as being a third party too, but I mean, it just happens to be the software by the same company that makes the device, but it's still a software interface that is connecting to my device, right? Let's just go ahead and quit Ledger Live. So the Solflare wallet is, I have connected my Ledger device to the Solflare wallet, so I can manage my balance using Solflare in conjunction with my device. So let's do the exact same thing. Let's do our send. We'll paste in our Coinbase address there. We could save it, but I'm not going to. And we need to give it an amount here. So that's 0.5, just like we were trying to do before. Let's hit send. They want me to confirm on the device, just like Ledger Live. There we go. And I'll click approve. And it says confirming transaction, view on Explorer. Let's see what happens. Transaction completed. All right, let's go over to Ledger. I'm sorry, let's go over to Coinbase and give it a minute or two. It doesn't take too long for Solana to transfer, right? We'll just give that a minute. And I'm done with the device now. Oh, hi, kitty. You want to say hello? Oh, come here. Yeah. I don't think you've been on a live stream in a long time. No. Wait, don't get all freaky on me. He's like, hey, I'm not comfortable. Oh, no, that camera? Are you kidding me? Aw. Oh, I think Kitty must have hit it because it's like not working. Well, okay. All right. I know.
It's raining outside.
It's raining outside. Okay. Kitty wants to be inside because it's raining. All right, Kitty. Well, I couldn't show you on the overhead camera, and I don't want to disconnect it and reconnect it in the middle of the live stream because I may freeze the entire ecosystem. God knows. I had just checked that camera before we started. It was working just fine, but I can see the lights not on anymore. So something happened. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it's there. Okay, so the Solana arrived in Coinbase. No big deal. Right, let's go back into Ledger Live and do the receive. Okay, and I can look in here, and I should see that outgoing transaction, or maybe I don't. Yeah, it's still showing that full balance. So yeah, I don't know. Ledger Live just doesn't seem to be syncing properly into the Solana chain, right? Or did it? Okay, there it goes, right? So there, it's showing that there was an outgoing transaction. So it's working. It's still querying the blockchain and, telling us that, hey, a transaction just went out. Let's go ahead and do the receive. We'll hit continue here. I can do the hardware check, verify. So that part's working, right? There's my public address. Copy that into my clipboard. Hit approve. And then we can go back over to Coinbase and go to the Solana. And we'll go ahead and send that Solana back to our wallet. There we go. Let's just send it all back. Preview send, it's a 2-cent charge, right? Not a big deal. Probably cost me 2 cents to send it. I'm going to need my 2-factor for my Coinbase account. Always have 2-factor when you can. If they allow it, you should implement it. Whoops. Okay, sorry about that. Let's do this. All right, we'll send it right back. Okay, and that's good. And then we can go back over here and sync and wait for the Solana to come in to our wallet. So it's the wallet. The Solana wallet is working just fine. The device appears to be working just fine. Ledger Live still is, the account is working. It's showing me my balances. It's showing me my outgoings. But there's just some issue with Ledger Live broadcasting the transaction, which is really odd. But we watched it happen. So yeah, it's a thing. But we should see the Solana come back in without too much problem, right? Let me get caught up a little bit here. Joseph, thank you so much for that donation. I always appreciate it. Thank you for being here as always. Crypto thing is new to me. Yeah. Bon, you need to explain to Rex before show start, not live. Find your GMX token in your ETH and or SOL and or AVX wallets to see what network you sent it on. Ah, okay. Well, we talked a little bit about that earlier. If you send it to your ledger-based wallet, I think I covered that pretty well. A lot of times I'm reading stuff that was said before I covered something. I've sent my GMX tokens to my ETH account on Ledger Live and can't see them. How to recover it? Thank you as always. Great help to the community and tokens on the right side of Ledger Live. Yeah, so what would have happened in that situation? I remember, we talked about why they wouldn't show up in Ledger Live, but we also showed you that you can add the token to your MetaMask wallet in either Avalanche or Arbitrum. Those are the only two networks that it works on. And if you send it to your ETH address in your Ledger Live, it would be the same address, right? There's my, there's the address. It ends in 478BD. It's the exact same address over here in my Ledger Live. Well, you said ETH account, but it's the same thing, right? If you have one ETH account, look at the address. It's the exact same address as you would have for any token that is any network that is based on your Ledger address, right? So yeah, we can look at the Ethereum address here, right? And that's the same Ethereum address that you sent your tokens to in Ledger Live, right? You said, okay, here's my Ethereum wallet. Let me send my GMX tokens. You sent them to this Ethereum address, and they haven't shown up in your Ethereum wallet. Well, that's because Ledger Live, not only does Ledger Live not support that token even on Avalanche, but it definitely doesn't support it on Ethereum. The only way to access that would be in Ledger, in MetaMask, after connecting your device, right? You can go and attach a hardware wallet to MetaMask, and that will create a hardware wallet based account, right? You can see I've got a Ledger 1 account and a Ledger 2 account because I have two Ethereum wallets in my based on my Ledger device. So from here, now that we've gained access to the accounts generated by that device, then we switch over to the correct network to see if we can't find the token. Now the token would probably not show up. I guess we hadn't done it. Let's see here. It's seeing some other stuff, I guess. It's kind of weird. But am I on the right one? Yeah, I think so. Oh, I think I may have put it on the other one. But we can always import previous tokens, right? There's that. Or we in Arbitrum? Yeah, you go to CoinGecko, get the contract address, and then you can, okay. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. Oh, it did work. Okay, there it goes. Right, and then you'll see it. If you send it, it'll be there, but you will have to import it first. And once you've seen it, once it shows up in the wallet, then you can send it, right? You've got full access to the send receive functionality if you want to send it back so you can sell it. Or you can just leave it there. It's in the wallet, right? Wasn't that your intention, to put it in the wallet, right? It's up to you, whatever you want to do. You send it back or just leave it there. But once you've found it using MetaMask, then you can rest assured that it arrives safely. Okay, let's cancel that. Let me get down here. Sorry I'm late. Bees, and trees. Didn't miss much. Haven't muted my mic yet. If you're having issues sending Solana from your wallet, you might have to clear cache, wait a few minutes, and redo the transaction. Okay, we could do that. in Ledger Live, we might be able to go to the help section and clear the cache. That might.
It's raining outside.
The cat's complaining he wants to go outside, but it's raining. So clear cache is usually the first tool in your troubleshooting kit. If you're having some kind of issue in Ledger Live, the first thing you should try is clear cache. It solves a lot of issues, right? The next thing, I don't know what this troubleshooting thing does. I've never seen this one. It probably checks your internet and all that stuff. Device setup, we don't want to do that. Worst case scenario, you could reset Ledger Live. This wipes out all of your accounts, and then you would have to reattach your device and do the add account to get all your accounts back. But if you're like severely having issues in Ledger Live, that is it's something you could try. Although I don't recommend it. I think most people feel like even if their device has been screwed up or something, as long as they can still see it in Ledger Live, they think it's still there, even though they may have lost access to it. So wiping Ledger Live is not a good troubleshooting step. Because then that like makes it final, right? A lot of people will come to me and I lost my Ledger device. I don't have my seed phrase, but I still see it in Ledger Live. I'm like, well, happy that you can see it in Ledger Live, but it's not going to do you any good if you don't have your device and you've lost it or it's damaged and you've lost your seed phrase, or you've reset it and restored it as new as opposed to as restoring it from your seed phrase. That happens a lot. I know crypto is not easy and straightforward, but if you're patient, you can learn it, right? It's not rocket science, right? A little patience, you can learn how to manage your crypto. But yeah, it's very scary for a lot of people. I understand that. Usually before a reset, I would recommend installing Ledger. If you're having trouble with Ledger Live, like this Solana issue, before resetting Ledger Live, you should maybe install it on a different machine, like a used laptop, or a spare laptop or something like that, and seeing if you have the same issue. And if you can send and receive on that new device easily enough, then there's probably something going on with your computer, right? Okay, so yeah, the Solana has come back that we sent from Coinbase. We've got the sent and the received. So the wallet is functioning properly. It's just whatever that broadcast issue is, appears to be having that trouble. Now, we could try again since we just reset the cache. It might work. Can I please do a step-by-step for airdrops? I did a step-by-step on claiming the Jupiter airdrop, and that's a pretty good, let's see here. That's a pretty good example of how airdrops work, but airdrops are not always exactly the same. But this is a step-by-step on how to claim the Jupiter airdrop. One of the issues with airdrops is, do you qualify? There are different ways that you can qualify for certain airdrops. I'm going to paste that video link that I've just pasted in there is how you claim the Jupiter airdrop. But as I was saying, airdrops are not consistent across the board, right? There's different ways to claim them, and there's different ways to qualify for them. Some of them are, have you used this platform in the past? And in that case, it's kind of a no-brainer if you've been using the platform. But for example, if you've never used Jupiter, if you've never used a Solana DEX, there's no point in going and trying to claim the Jupiter airdrop because you wouldn't qualify for it. So, and then the other thing to remember about airdrops is there are a lot of scammers out there that are trying to trick you into thinking that you've qualified for some kind of airdrop, because that word airdrop just gets thrown around. And, you know, I kind of hate the term. I mean, it's a good term, you know, it's like it's money falling out of the sky. But a lot of people think that, oh, you know, I can just get an airdrop because it's free crypto. And you haven't really qualified for it. I think I've told this story before, but I remember talking with some guy, and I remember he told me this story that has just stuck with me for so long. And he was talking about his life, you know, the issues that he had in his life. And he said when he was a little kid, he used to watch this children's show where... I'm just checking. I see Dan like spammed a icon in the thing, and I thought my mic was muted, but I'm good, right? So this guy, this friend of mine that told this story, he said he watched this children's show every morning or every week or however often he watched it. And during the show, at one point, they had like this big barrel that with all these postcards of kids that had sent their name and address in or whatever. Hey, Mustafa, thanks for that subscription. And at one section of the show, he'd come turn that thing, and then he'd reach in there and pull out a postcard and announce the kid that won whatever it was that week, a toy or just being mentioned on TV or everything. And this guy, this friend of mine said, I used to watch that show every day hoping that they were going to pull my name out. He goes, but I never sent in a postcard. Right? He said, and that's kind of the way my life is now. He's like, I keep expecting something good to happen, and I'm not doing the groundwork, right? So you have to keep that stuff in mind. Airdrops might just fall out of the sky, and like the Jupiter token was serendipitous for me because I had used the Soulflare wallet to do some Solana trades. Little did I know that under the hood, the Soulflare wallet uses the Jupiter network. So I had actually qualified for the Jupiter airdrop. I had also qualified for the When airdrop. And so I got that one too. So, it's a little more complicated than just, I probably should do some more videos that are more generalized as far as airdrops go. But yeah, that little video that I pasted in there is a pretty good example of an airdrop. A step-by-step on an airdrop. Let's talk a little bit about, we've been talking a lot about Soulflare and Soulflare meme coins. And as you can see here, I did buy some of that Dogwifhat, and that meme coin is in my wallet, right? You can also see that it's down considerably today, right? I think it was like $2.89 when I bought it or something like that. It was hovering around $3 when I bought it. Don't ask me for advice on trades, right? And you can see also, but that is a meme coin that I bought. Now, this When coin is also a meme coin, but I claimed an airdrop on that one. And when I claimed that airdrop, it was, of course, free. And for me, it didn't cost me anything. Somehow I had qualified for it. But at the time, it was worth around 70, and right now it's worth 156. So I could sell this right now and, with a tidy little profit. But it was more a couple days ago. It was like 200 something a couple days ago, right? Bonk is another meme coin. I guess the definition of meme coin is usually a coin that really has no underlying functionality rather than just being cute in many ways, or being unique or collectible, I guess you could say. Similar to NFTs, but not digital art really. They're just they're cryptocurrencies that, they can, you can send and receive and, swap and that sort of stuff. But other than that, they don't seem to have much functionality other than, making people money or causing people to lose money, depending on, your when you buy and when you sell. Right. But I wanted to go over if you wanted to swap in Solflare, like in the trading interface, and you wanted to buy that particular coin, you can see there in here that I have it in my list already. And if I were to say, okay, I want to, using one of my Solana, I want to buy some WIF coin, right? I could do that, but let's say I don't have WIF coin in my list, right? Like I pull down here and I don't see WIF coin. Well, I could search for it, but you'll notice that there's a bunch of wannabes, right? That all say WIF. There's Dogwifhat, Catwifhat, Biff, Catwifhat, Mockwif, Rwif. So you have to, and they have the similar icons. Now they do have little exclamation points on them, but a lot of people don't understand, this is a fake coin. So they could accidentally choose one of these other basically worthless coins instead of buying the actual WIF coin. Now, even if you get the real WIF coin, that doesn't mean, it's legitimate in any sense of that form either. It's a meme coin, but at least it's the one that other people agree is WIF coin, right? You don't want to buy a coin that's not WIF coin, because then you're really just kind of, throwing your money in a black hole, or throwing your perfectly good crypto, right? Am I going to throw a perfectly good Solana token at WIF coin? Well, maybe. It is down right now, so maybe not a bad idea, but am I really going to do that unless I'm sure that's WIF coin, the one that I want? So how do we know whether that is the right coin? How can we find out for sure? How can we be certain? Well, let's add some of these coins. So I've already added them in this browser, but we can go over to my Chrome browser. And we can go to Solflare over here. That cat. Just let him out. Just let him outside. Let him sit out there in the rain for a while. Oh, okay. So it is showing up here. Okay. Let's get it big here. I guess because I've already added it on the other. Well, let's just get rid of it. Or can I? Can I? I don't know if I can take it out of here. Maybe I can't. No, it's just add. That's all you got. You got add. Okay. Well, I can't really then show you from scratch. Maybe we could do the Joe token thing. Well, I guess we could try that. But anyway, let's do WIF coin just for example. So what you need to do is go over to CoinGecko. It's a great resource for checking coins. Type in the, you can search for it or you can type in the ticker symbol, right? And there it is, Dogwifhat. Right now that we've pulled up the coin on CoinGecko and we've looked at all of the metrics and confirmed that this is in fact the right coin, now we'll scroll down a little bit to the contract address. This is the important part. You saw me doing this with that other coin earlier. You go to CoinGecko and you get the contract address. It's a very similar to a receiving address, but it is the contract address of the smart contract for that particular token. So we copy that into our clipboard, and then when we're in the trading interface and we want to start with, okay, I have Solana. I would like to use part of my Solana to buy a particular coin. So we pull this down, and instead of searching by the name of the coin, we can paste in that contract address that we just got from CoinGecko. And when we do that, it pulls up the actual coin, right? Because if I used WIF, look, we got a whole litany of coins that had the word WIF in there, right? Confusing. But when we paste in the actual contract address, we only get one choice: the actual coin with that actual contract address. We could do the same thing with some of these other coins, like Bonk, for example. We do Bonk. Right, we pull that up here, and we grab that contract address. All right, and we can go back over here, and so let's say we want to trade for Bonk, and we pull this down and search Bonk. Okay, you're going to get, Bonk is there at the top, but you might get confused by all this other junk. But because they show up when you put in BONK. But if we just put in the contract address, right, we only get one result, which is the actual Bonk coin that has that contract address, right? We do that same thing with the MAGA coin. We do that. I think that's it. MAGA coin, Trump. Hooray. Now this coin has more than one chain, right? It's on the Ethereum chain, it's on the Binance Smart Chain, and there's also a Solana version of this coin. They all have the same market price, right? But anyway, we'll get the Solana contract address. We'll go back over here, and then we'll pull this up and paste. Let's put in MAGA, and look at all this stuff we get. Right? Which one is the coin that we really want to buy? Right? A whole bunch of them. Very confusing. But if we put in that contract address, we only get one result. Right? This one. So now we can also, when we're in the portfolio, we can add it to our list. So let's do that with that Biden coin, whatever it is. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. What was it? Oh, there it is. BODEN. Hey, Mary, thanks for that subscription. All right, so let's go over to CoinGecko, and we'll paste in that name. There it is. Geo Baden. I don't think that's like supposed to be nice. I think it's like a weird. But anyway, that's the coin that gained $800 this week, right? Or 800%, right? It went from less than a penny up to like 2 cents. Went crazy. And generally, I'll say this also: once you read about it, it's probably too late, right? Once everybody knows, it's too late. But anyway, let's get the contract address. Notice that this is only on the Solana chain. There's only one contract address. Let's copy that into our clipboard, and then we can go back over to our Solflare wallet, and we can just do add new asset. Right now, if we search for this, Bowden, well, actually, it only came up as one coin. Interesting. But just to be certain, it's better to use that contract address, right? It's only going to show us that one coin. We'll hit add, and there we go. Now it's in our wallet, wherever it went. Where did it go? Oh, let's refresh. Or maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I slipped off it. Let's try that again. Oh, yeah, I think I had to hit the add, right there. Well, it doesn't seem. Oh, failed. Because this wallet is based on my ledger, I need to approve this, right? So let's do this one more time. When adding new coins into our wallet, it has to be approved. So let's hit add. Let's paste that in there. Let's hit add, and it should. Why is this not working? Failed to sign the transaction using ledger. Maybe I should close my other stuff, right? Let's close it over here, right? And then let's go back over here and try it again. Okay. All right. Oh, am I on the right? Yeah, I'm on the right Solana wallet. Let's try one more time. All right. Okay. Okay, there we go. There's the contract address. And we'll just scroll through all this information till we get to approve, and then we click both buttons at the same time to activate that. And there we go. So now we've got it in our wallet. Notice I did a little troubleshooting there, right? Things weren't working, so what did I do? I went and I closed any other apps that may have been accessing the device at the same time. Might have been causing some interference, right? Okay, so and then once you've got the coin in your list, it's much easier when you do the trade. So like when we look for the bottom, it's already, whoop, well, what just happened? Yeah, ooh, so many. All right, that's when we're trading, right? So let's make sure, right, it's already in our wallet, right? And so, yeah, in this case, we could, you know, buy it with a little bit of Solana. I'm not going to do it. Like I mentioned, you know, once you read about it, that's probably it. Now, it is a little bit down today, but it's not down 800%, right? So that 800% pop was for people in the know that heard about the coin, right? It wasn't in the, you know, press yet. So you have to be very careful when it comes to meme coins, right? Let's see here. Whiff raised 700K to put their image on the sphere in Vegas. That could be a top market, LOL. Yeah, that could be its tip top, right? Practice sending crypto from Coinbase to your wallet. So always good advice. Cooler. Oh, I'm sorry. Bobby, thank you so much for that donation. You did the same thing last week. Every time you go to eat dinner, you throw me a fiber. That's so nice of you. I appreciate that, Bobby. Kitty is hungry. Yeah, Kitty's meowing. Well, no, Kitty. Well, you know, what Kitty's doing right now is mind games. Because the cat is fed in the morning, around 6 or 7 in the morning, and then I usually feed him again in the evening around 8 or 9. But Kitty will come in early sometimes and act like he's really hungry, and then I'll feed him early, like say 5 or 6, and then he comes back around 8 or 9 thinking I don't remember that I fed him, wanting another dinner. So that the early meowing is mind games. He's trying to trick us. But actually what he wanted was he wanted to go outside, and it's raining out there. Did you let him out, honey? Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. He went outside, so he's okay now. Yeah, he either wants dinner, or he wants to eat or he wants to go outside. Those are his two big wants. Every now and then he just wants to cuddle and be pet, but most of the time he wants something. Okay, so yes, we had the sending problem with Ledger Live. We can try again. I have Coinbase US dollar coin currency. I try to learn how to get those other currencies from there and the wallet. Please tell us about self Web 3 identity. Diatom Ranger, thank you for being here. Thanks for cleaning this up. The CryptoDad was so confused about the multiple listings. Oh, yeah, sure. Of course. Had the same problem with Sol, did clear the cache, and the sending works. We'll go ahead and try to send that. Super D'Angelo, this pressure will BTC fall to 59 while market is bleeding. Yeah, let's see. Is it just collapsing as we speak? Let's see. Yeah, we're still going down, aren't we? Yeah. So, oh, okay. Did we go down to 64 and then bounce back up? Yeah. I don't know. You'll see a lot of volatility in crypto, and we get used to it. Also, I wanted to point out that there are a lot of people, and I'm not accusing any of you of this, but there are a lot of people out there that when they buy a cryptocurrency, they expect it to go up only. That's it, right? And if it goes down, they freak out. I get that question all the time. And why is this coin going down? I've never had anyone ask me why a coin is going up. But they really want to know why it's going down. You know, it's like, hey, it's down 1%. Why? Like, I don't know. I think people just buy, once they invest in it, they think it's only allowed to go up, and that's it, period, because they bought it, right? But of course, all of you would never think like that, would you? Yeah, it looks like we're experiencing quite a bit. Notice Sol is a little up from when we started the live stream. I believe it was 179 earlier in the stream, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Dan, Barbara K, any idea why I'm unable to get my ledger to connect to Kepler? Barbara K, thank you for being here. Looks like your icon color has changed. That's kind of strange. You know, when you say you can't connect, I'm wondering exactly what that means. I'm assuming it means you're trying to perform some kind of operation and it's telling you that it can't find your device or whatever. So I'm going to go through, I don't know your particular situation, Barbara. You're welcome to shoot an email to me. But in general, let's do Kepler over here. First of all, you can launch Kepler without the device attached, right? But if you're trying to swap or do something like that in Kepler, like you're trying to swap like one atom for Osmo or whatever, and it's giving you something along the lines of connect and unlock your ledger device. I guess maybe that's what you're experiencing, all right? I knew that was going to happen because even though my ledger is connected to my computer, I am not in the Cosmos app on my device. So number one, check to make sure that your device is connected, unlocked, and in the appropriate app. Ledger Live will tell you that you need to get into a certain app. It has that functionality. Third-party wallets don't have that functionality. They can't just query your device and say, hey, I can see your device, but you're not in the app, right? You need to open the Cosmos app. It's not going to tell you that. So you need to make sure that you are in the Cosmos app before you start trying to interact with Kepler. Another thing that can be interfering with Kepler is when you are running Ledger Live at the same time. So you could have your device attached, you could be in the Solana app, but you've got Ledger Live running, and maybe you're running them in the My Ledger section. And you try to go into the app, and it just bombs you right back out because Ledger, the My Ledger section, expects you to be at the home screen. So you may be in Ledger Live, and then you in this interface, and then you go over to Kepler and you're trying to do something, and you go into the Kepler app, or the Cosmos app, pardon me, Oh, that's Stellar. Okay, there's Cosmos. And then you're in it. Well, watch what happens. Well, it didn't do it. Generally, if you're in now Ledger will bomb out of the My Ledger because you've opened an app. In the old days, before this, the Ledger Live would bomb the device out of the app you were trying to get into. So, in other words, Ledger Live will interfere with your device when you're trying to use third-party wallets. So, if you're in the portfolio section, you should be okay, but it's probably better just to quit Ledger Live completely so that it doesn't interfere with your device in Kepler. Also, as you noticed, I had that issue earlier when we're doing Solflare. So what did I do? I went and I not only did I quit Ledger Live, but I was also using Solflare in a different browser, and they seem to be interfering with me. So I quit the other apps that could possibly have been trying to access the device also. Barring all of that, different cable, different USB port, could be something hardware-wise. Reboot your computer. I know. Everybody tells you to reboot your computer, but it's a fail. It does wonders. Try it on a different computer. Go over to one of your kids' computer. Go into their browser. Install the Kepler wallet. Connect to your device. See if it recognizes it. Troubleshoot a little bit. Try and figure out, well, if it works just fine on my daughter's computer, it sees my device, I can do whatever I need, then there must be something going on my computer that's interfering with Kepler and my device. Maybe it's a USB issue. Maybe it's, a bad cable or whatever. If the same thing happens on your daughter's computer, then it probably is your cable or your device, right? But if you can move over to a different computer, install Kepler, and attach your device, and everything works just fine and dandy, then there's something going on with your computer that you need to troubleshoot. But 9 times out of 10, it's if you can't connect to Kepler with your device, you're not in the Cosmos app, or you've got Ledger Live open and it's interfering. Those are the big ones that most people just don't get. Right? I hope that helps, Barbara. Oh, yeah. Third-party wallets. Yeah. Always a challenge. Also, I've noticed that when alts are going up in value, sometimes they won't let transactions broadcast. You have to wait until they settle some transactions. That's a possibility. I was under the impression that my copy of Ledger Live operated independently and had its own connection to the blockchain. But the fact that everyone is having trouble broadcasting Solana transactions from Ledger Live gives me the sense that something central is involved, that somehow it verifies on their servers or something. I mean, I can't think of any other explanation, unless it's some sort of bug in the current version of Ledger Live, which they need to fix, that only happens during times of high activity. We'll see. Why don't we go ahead and do that test again? Let's receive Solana again. Copy that address. We'll relaunch Ledger Live. For those of you who are just joining us, we tried to send some Solana out of our Solana account earlier, and it failed. But it worked just fine when we were using our Solflare wallet with our device. But I did go into my settings, into the help section, and cleared the cache, right? clearing the cache is the least invasive troubleshooting step you can take. It doesn't wipe any of your accounts or anything like that. So we've done the clear cache. Let's see what happens when we go back into our Solana, put in our address of Coinbase. That account not funded just means that Coinbase wallets are kind of strange in that it looks like an empty wallet, but it's not. Or maybe it is, but it's not a big deal. Let's go ahead and send that 0.5 Solana again. Cost me another 2 cents. Okay, now it's having trouble doing this. Holy moly. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, so we're sending 0.5 Solana to Coinbase. It's the network fee is so low, it's below 1 cent, right? So it's showing up as 0, right? So let's hit continue. Now see, Ledger Live is smart enough to tell me, hey, you need to be in the Solana app for this. Kepler, MetaMask, Solflare, they don't know. You just have to read the instructions that tell you to be in the right app. But Ledger can tell you, the device can tell you, hey, you need to open the Solana app. Right, so we'll do that. All right, and then let's go ahead and confirm this. We'll scroll through all the information till we get to approve and hit both buttons. And let's see what happens. Is it going to work? Or is it not going to work? Hey, it worked. Okay. So it looks like maybe just clearing the cache is the solution to this, right? So I didn't think it had anything to do with the broadcast needing to connect to Ledger servers. I think it was just maybe an issue with the way Ledger Live implements the broadcast, that during times of high activity, you need to clear your cache, to get things to go through, I guess, right? Now, one thing that does require Ledger service is that genuine check. So the genuine check is when you connect your device to Ledger Live and you go into the My Ledger section, it does the genuine check every single time you go in there. So that does require Ledger servers. So if you're in the My Ledger section and you're getting like a spinning whatever, then it could be that the Ledger servers have some issue or they're overloaded or whatever. But they only do that for the genuine check, as far as I know, right? So, okay, we were able to send our Solana out. Although it still hasn't shown up in my balance. I thought it worked. Maybe it didn't. It said it did. It finished at least that time. But yeah, I mean, it should be less Solana there now, but I don't see that. Oh, you see, okay, there it went. You see these two here? Those are the fees that I paid. Wow, 36 cents. I didn't remember doing any trades, but maybe when I added those tokens? That was weird. I don't remember exactly what I did. But yeah, I got some Solana fees there. Or maybe, no, I think those were when I was sending out from Solflare. Those were, but those fees seem rather high. That's kind of a mystery. I guess we'll have to check into that. That was interesting. Maybe it was adding that coin. Well, we'll see. Let's go back over to Coinbase, and we should see that Solana there. Now it says 181 because Coinbase still thinks the original Solana is still there. Or I guess it does. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let's go to my assets. Okay, there, that's correct, 98. All right, so there it is. And then we can send it back. Let's go ahead and send it all, and let's get the address from Ledger Live. I can skip this hardware check and just grab, well, actually the device is attached, so it did the hardware check. Right, that's my Solana address. Let's go ahead and just send it back. All right, and there it goes. Let's hit preview send again. It's going to cost us 2 cents. And we'll just, and I need my 2-factor. And away it goes. Okay. I can go ahead and finish this up. Just hit both buttons. And we should get that Solana back. So we've been moving Solana back and forth, but it's no skin off my teeth because the fees are so cheap. It's so fast and cheap. No wonder it's doing well, right? People complain about Bitcoin transaction fees and the speed. People complain about Ethereum fees being high, but when you use Solana, it's fast and cheap. I always use Solana like to facilitate transfers from one exchange to another. Close the app and open it again if it fails and see that it works after you cleared the cache. Okay, so I think, yeah, try clearing your cache. You saw me do it a couple times. There are people who criticize me for this, but if you are looking for a wallet, then the Ledger Nano is really easy to use. I would recommend it. Good luck. Yeah, the Ledger Nano S Plus is really the go-to wallet now. I don't think the Ledger sells the Ledger Nano S anymore. It's been sunsetted. So the Ledger Nano S Plus is their low-end model, but it's a really good hardware wallet. I have a Ledger Nano X, but the only difference with the only difference with the Ledger Nano S Plus is that it doesn't have Bluetooth, but it has the same amount of app storage as the Ledger Nano X, and it has the same size screen as the Ledger Nano X. So you really can't go wrong, especially if all you're planning on doing is using it with your computer, right? But you can't use the Ledger Nano S Plus with your phone. Only the Ledger Nano X. So the Ledger Nano X has Bluetooth that allows you to use the phone-based Ledger Live app, right? But that's not for a lot of people. Most people use, like me, or tend to use the device in the home mostly. So the Ledger Nano S Plus is much more affordable, right? I think it's the most versatile hardware wallet out there. And it's pretty easy to use compared to like air gap wallets and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to use. It is an anomaly in the current convenience-based Western society that we live in. It is not an intuitive gadget like a phone or a tablet. Most of us are so used to these devices that are idiot-proof. Well, a Ledger hardware wallet is a tool, but you need to learn to use the tool properly, like a gun or, a power drill or a bandsaw. You're just not going to run in there and turn it on and start trying to use it until you've, read the manual, seen all the safety, the cautions and all that stuff. No one would go out and buy a gun and not learn how to use it, right? Or a bandsaw. But people go out and buy Ledger devices and think they're going to be like, oh, I just like using my iPhone. It's not that easy. You have to have some patience and a little bit of, determination to learn how to use the device. But it's not impossible. It's not rocket science, like I mentioned earlier. But it does. There's a learning curve, right? You're gonna have to experiment, watch my videos, do that kind of stuff. Let's see. My Coinbase and Ledger have never matched up with prices. Yeah, the pricing APIs that you see in Ledger Live are really just there for reference. Don't really expect them to match perfectly with the pricing that you're going to see over in Coinbase, right? As far as like we can look at Coinbase right now and see that it's 65,328.28, and over here Bitcoin is 65,540.23, right? So there's that's a disconnect, right? It's not the same price. Also, if we look up here, we're not going to see the exact same price either. They've got 65,243, which doesn't match what Ledger is telling us it is, or what Coinbase is telling us it is. What was that? 281. Yeah, see, they're completely different. That is because there is no centralized set price for Bitcoin like there would be a stock or the price of gold. They have like regulations, for the spot price of gold. There is no such thing for Bitcoin. Just depending on the time of day and what, and even like, let's look at the two different websites. Right, they have, let me refresh here. They've got Bitcoin at 65,213, and they've got 65,323. So yeah, there is no set price of Bitcoin. And so don't use Ledger Live as your portfolio manager. It's a wallet. It's a really good wallet, but I wouldn't use it as my go-to portfolio manager. I think we talked about that last week, right? It's not the best portfolio manager out there because of the way. Plus, it like this down 299 could mean that the prices of all of the cryptos in my portfolio are down a total of $299, or it could mean that I just transferred, $200 worth of a coin somewhere else, right? It keeps track of coins coming in and out, so it's not very useful as a portfolio manager. So I wouldn't put a lot of stock in the current prices you're getting in Coinbase, or I'm sorry, in Ledger Live, right? Let's see. In about 2-3 years, there will be a wallet on your phone. Well, you can. I mean, there are phone-based wallets, like for example, Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is a pretty decent wallet. It's phone-based, and the private key for this wallet is on my phone, right? But this is an okay wallet, but I don't consider it as secure as my Ledger device, because my Ledger device is an offline wallet. The private key is stored offline, whereas on a phone-based wallet, the private key is on the phone. It's exposed to the internet. Also, another difference, you could have a desktop-based wallet like Electrum Bitcoin Wallet. Electrum Bitcoin Wallet is a totally free, open source, crypto or Bitcoin only wallet that you can use to manage Bitcoin, but it is not a hardware wallet, right? The private key for this wallet is stored on my computer. So the private key is exposed to the internet because it is on the same device that I use to connect to the internet. The Ledger device is separate, right? The private key is held separately. So you have two pieces, right? You've got the hardware piece and the software piece. And this device is compatible with more than just Ledger Live. We've been talking about that all night too. We've got We've got the Soulflare wallet. We've got the MetaMask wallet. All of these wallets can interface with this device, and it does not reduce the security. That's the whole point of the device, is that it can add a layer of security to any wallet that supports it. All right? It's a good thing. The current technology advances make it all that it will be one device in 5 years max. Everything we do will be in a device in our hand and our mind. LOL, get out of my wallet, left lobe. ETH gas prices suck. I agree. Do you think pricing has to do with time zones, with the location of exchanges? There's probably a little bit of that element, but as I mentioned, like Ledger Live has these things built in called pricing APIs, and they're little mini programs that go out and check prices on exchanges, and then they have a particular list of exchanges that they check for the current price of Bitcoin, and then they take all of those different prices, current prices of Bitcoin, and come up with some sort of estimate of, based on all of those different exchanges that they're grabbing prices from, to get their estimate of the current price of Bitcoin. And everybody does the same thing. So Coinbase, but I think Coinbase would use their own internal mechanisms, right? They have liquidity and they've got people buying and selling. So they, on their exchange, they have what they would consider the current price of Bitcoin on Coinbase. That makes sense, right? But other services will look on different exchanges and try to come up with some kind of, blanket estimate, right? But Ledger Live does pricing APIs. And I mean, they're just doing it constantly. So I don't know that it really matters what time zone you're in. It might. I mean, maybe if I was sitting in front of Ledger Live and we were in France right now, it would be giving me a different price of Bitcoin. I don't know. Maybe. Right? Possibly. But I think it has more to do with your location than your time zone. If we're going to tokenize everything in the world, can't be done on Bitcoin. Ethereum price is too high, so find the next best, or ETH figures out it has no gas fees, needs smart contracts. I get the security aspect, but I mean, you have to think outside the box. In the end, crypto and all will be a million times better. You won't be able to live without internet. You have to think of it more outside the box in 10 years. Everyone has a brain implant. Having a Ledger wallet won't be needed. Okay, that might be interesting. There was a movie. now we're just talking. There was a movie in the 1960s called The President's Analyst. The film was made in 1967. It stars James Coburn. And he's a psychiatrist, and he goes to work for the president. And of course, the president is unloading all of his secrets on him in their psychiatry sessions. And he gets overwhelmed with all of the president's burdens. And all of the foreign spy agencies want to kidnap him because he knows what's going on in the president's head. And eventually, he gets kidnapped by the phone company, and the head of the phone company tells him that in the future they won't need phones anymore. That they will implant a little tiny communication device in everyone's brain at birth, and then people will pay their taxes directly to the phone company, to pay for all this. And the phone company will save so much money because they won't need cables or trucks or anything. And this was like wild conspiracy theory back in 1967. And here we are, everybody's carrying around little tracking devices with no wires. But this movie is hilarious if you've never seen it. It's a great movie. Yeah. Thanks again for your help, Rex. Question, please. When using DEX, how to obtain CSV files for tax purposes? Thanks again and all the best. That's a really good question. Generally, when you're using a DEX, you're operating right out of your wallet. So, for example, if we're in Solflare and we are using the trading and the swapping features to go back and forth, everything is occurring in this wallet, right? This main wallet receiving address. So, and that address is this one, right? That's my wallet address for my Solana wallet, right? The one that I'm using on the DEX. Well, basically, you would take that address and you would go in. There is no CVS file, right? There's no way to export. I don't think there is. So, for example, if you went to Solana Explorer, right, and pasted in your wallet address, you would get a history. Is this going to work or is it not going to work? Okay, there. There is the history of this wallet, of all the transactions going in and out, right? And then here's the tokens, right? You can see all of these transactions going in and out of this wallet. I don't know that there's any way to export this data that would be compatible with a tax service. Generally, what you would do with a tax service, such as CoinTracker or Coinly or whatever, is you would go in and you would say, I want to add a new wallet, and I'm going to use my wallet address. And then you would paste in the public address of that wallet, and then all of those transactions would get pulled into your tax software. The only issue there with a DEX, which is more complicated, is that and we can do this with CoinTracker or Coinly. This is Coinly. All of those transactions would get pulled in. All of the ins and outs of that wallet would get pulled in, but your trades might not get interpreted properly. Maybe now with a lot of the DEX and these things are getting better every year, they may recognize that, okay, this wallet address has some trading activity on there, and they'll interpret them as trades. But more likely than not, it's going to misinterpret what happened and think that you were withdrawing coin X rather than swapping it for the other coin. So you're probably going to have to go into your tax readout or whatever, or your transaction list, and manually adjust to say, no, this was not a withdrawal, this was a trade, right? But as far as the DEX itself having some kind of mechanism to give you a CVS of your trading activity, they don't. Well, I mean, you've got this activity, but that's it. I don't see any way to export this to a CVS, right? Right? Generally, what you would do would be to take the wallet address and paste that into your tax software and tell them that that's a third part, or that's a wallet, right? You say, I'm going to add a new wallet. And you say, okay, here's my wallet address. And then it does its own thing. It goes out. Coinly and CoinTracker go out. You give them that wallet address, they'll look for that address on the blockchain explorer and pull in your transaction history. But like I said, it might not be correct, right? You might have a lot of adjusting to do. Yeah. Very complicated to do your taxes if you're swapping on dexes. Oh, okay. So Dan is saying that Kepler does. All right, let's take a look at that. I think we're over here, right? So if we're in Kepler, where does he say? It says, using Cosmos Go to stake. Tax. Whoops. Oh, well, maybe it's not going to let me do this, is it? Okay. Staking and tax. Inbox. Help me, Dan. I'm not sure where I'm at here. Is it up here? Oh, staked. Okay. And tax. I'm lost. Yeah. When using stake tax, you'll have to insert the CSV file for each token that you transacted with. Ouch. Stake tax, and you will find your CSV files. Huh. Okay. Oh, stake tax website. Okay. All right. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Go to stake. Here's Osmo. Where's Cosmos? Oh, here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. And let's see. Where were we? Let's grab that address of my Cosmos. Oh, yeah. And you have to, every token has its own address. Atom. I don't know what this node URL is. That didn't work for me. I don't know what this is. I get it, though. I'm probably not going to be able to pull this off live. All right, Dan, thank you so much for that. That is helpful to those of us who, are using Kepler and doing swaps and stuff on Kepler. All right, so thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I didn't realize it was after 8 already. I want to thank Kenny for all the news. I want to thank Dan for being here and furiously answering questions. Dan, our moderator, I really appreciate it. I want to thank everybody that donated tonight. You helped me, helped the channel. Let's see. We've got Asil. Thank you so much. Paul. P. Wizzle, thank you so much, Paul. And let's see, Joseph, always a pleasure to have you here. NJ, thanks for that subscription. Bobby, thank you so much, Bobby, for that generous donation. I want to thank everyone that was here tonight watching. Thank all of you who joined in and asked your questions and made your comments and just hung out and had a good time with me tonight. I appreciate it. Thank all of you who were just watching and not saying anything, of course. You're always welcome. Don't forget, we do this every week. Join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here every Saturday. I missed my Wednesday live stream this week. I was doing some other stuff, but I did drop some shorts over the week. And I did drop a standalone video on, I forget what it was about. Oh, withdrawing from PayPal. There are a lot of people out there that are getting their, I can't think of the name of the company now. The one that went bankrupt that people were staking on, Celeste, whatever it was. They're getting their, their awards or their class actions, whatever, is coming in on PayPal, and they don't know how to get it out of PayPal. So I did a video on withdrawing Bitcoin from PayPal to your own wallet. I hope it was helpful. Check it out if you're in that situation. God, I can't think of the name of that company. I've been hearing it all day. Anyway, Celsius. Thank you, Celsius. Yeah, a lot of the Celsius awards or compensations are going into PayPal or Venmo, and a lot of people don't realize that they are not self-custody wallets. They are just like exchanges. So it's a good idea to get those holdings out of PayPal and into your own wallet. So check out that video. Once again, thanks you guys. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Signing out, guys. Have a good night.